Cool, let's do it. Hey, welcome everybody. Glad you're here. Got a special guest with me today, Hector, and we're going to talk about all things real estate, senior housing. We've got some special surprises for you. So, Hector, welcome to the call today. How are you, sir?
Hey, happy to be here, man. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah,
Doing fantastic. How are you?
yeah, real good, real good. Well, Hector, as we're getting started here, why don't you just quickly tell the folks, who you are, kind of what your, specialty or expertise is in real estate, and how long you've been doing that.
Sure. My name is Hector Perez. I am a realtor with EXP. I run a real estate business where I'm helping buyers purchase homes, sellers sell, especially in the current world market. We are helping seniors, locate the right type of housing. Very, very happy and blessed to be here. Obviously, like everybody else.
Very cool. And so what area geographically do you focus on the most?
So I cover a big area of New Jersey. My special focus would be Bergen County, Hudson County, Essex County. So anything that you can think of when you think of like Hoboken, Jersey City, Newark, Montclair, Dumont. We have a cool listing that just went up in Kenilworth, actually. So those areas.
Awesome. Very cool. So let's break it down into two, customers that you spoke about. So there's people who want to, they're looking for a home, and there's obviously people who are trying to list their home. Let's focus first on people who are looking for a home. What advice would you give them when they're looking for a home right now in the current market?
Well, it goes without saying, you have to be educated. You have to understand, which way the current's going. You can't swim against the current. And with regards to knowing what type of market you're in, it's really important that we understand we're, at least for the time being, August 2020, we're in a seller's market. So that means there's less inventory than actively searching for home buyers. And in order to really stand out, the first most important thing would probably be to get your pre-approval. Know, how much your budget is, so that way you can filter down what you need to look for in the home that you're trying to buy in the area that you're trying to look in.
So what is the biggest mistake or top three mistakes? If we've got people who are thinking about buying a home, they're in your area and they're listening to this, or even across the nation, but what's the biggest mistake you see, first time home buyers or any buyer make in the current market?
So when it comes to mistakes, there's so many mistakes we can make. Real estate is a very long process. Even buying a home, if you have a contract accepted today, it might take 2, maybe 3 months, especially with how things are today, to actually close. So in that time frame, anything could really happen. But one of the biggest mistakes a buyer usually can make is going out to see homes without knowing what their pre-approval is, without crunching the numbers first. Everybody loves looking at homes. I do this every single day, all day long, to the point where maybe even I have to prioritize sleep. But a lot of buyers, instead of finding out what they can afford, incorporate the taxes. That's a big one. They don't factor in taxes. They might just think about the mortgage amount. All of these are important factors that, once considered, will give you a good idea of what your max budget would be. And obviously, we love $1 million homes, but if we don't have $1 million budget, while you're looking at those $1 million homes, the person that is buying the right home is taking it away from you. That could have been your home. So wasting time, I would say, not being prepared. Those would be some big mistakes, some common mistakes.
What about on the listing side? What are the biggest mistakes you see people do when they're trying to list their homes? I know that you educate and help people, and sometimes you get to them at the beginning when they haven't made the mistakes. They get the chance to work with you, but sometimes, they're working with somebody else who isn't giving them the same information. What's the biggest mistakes that people are making that you would love to help everybody listening avoid?
So that's actually a great question. Some of the biggest mistakes I feel like home sellers will make maybe to not listen to their professional. I know we're very good at what we do, and I know that some people may feel like they are as well. Especially with the advent of technology. According to the National Association of Realtors, I think the number is 85% of people that are going out to buy homes or list homes, they already have someone that they found online first. So it's easy to assume or think that just because you have access to the internet, you understand how real estate actually works, but it's a little bit more involved than that. So most common mistakes that sellers can actually make is maybe overlisting a home, maybe not staging it the right way. There's secrets and tricks that you can use to help the buyer identify with your home in the way that suits them best. You know, they may walk into a home and what you think is the greatest wall on earth because it has all your pictures may not be what helps them visualize their family in your home, things like that. But some of the most common mistakes would be overpricing your home, you know, not marketing it the right way, not working with the right person.
I got it. Okay, so let me ask you this: if somebody is a buyer or a seller, and they're trying to identify the right professional, we all know that there's some people that are great at sales, but they're not so good on fulfillment. And when you're looking for a real estate professional, you need fulfillment. You need somebody who actually knows what's going on. What are some of the top, questions that you teach and coach your people to ask to make sure that they're really working with the right person and they can pick up on the most important clues?
Now this is an even better question. I think that experience is very, very important. You definitely want someone that is a local expert because, what may be working out in some areas may not actually be what's best for your territory. The way that you market open houses, for example, like just think of flexibility. If you're not agile enough to make changes when the changes are necessary, then, you'll be swept away by that same current we were talking about before. In low inventory markets, it's important for buyers to understand what's out there and what they're capable of actually purchasing so that they don't, when the music stops, end up without being able to find a chair of their own. Sellers, same thing. The way that someone markets their property in California might be a little bit different than the way that people do it in New Jersey. Still the same industry, it's real estate, but different locations work differently throughout the year. Seasonalities also, that's a big one. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Wonderful. And, once again, congratulations on, becoming a best-selling author. I've got your books right here on my shelf, actually right under the picture of Robert Kiyosaki. So you're doing great. You're in good.
I love Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, it's just one more shelf to go. So tell the audience about some of the resources that you put together, what they help people do, and how they can get access to those, because what you're teaching and what you're sharing with people in your book and your workbook is really important stuff. So tell me about what resources you're sharing with your local area and how people can connect with those resources.
I'm really grateful for having that opportunity to be on the best-selling list, and I think that having a plan really goes a long way. So in the book we highlight different steps that you can take to make sure that you do it correctly. So I'll share this book with someone. It doesn't necessarily need to be someone that's looking for senior housing. There's chapters in there that could work for anyone, including for sale by owners. And by providing that value, they realize that you're there to help. So just being accessible, being responsive. Obviously, there's many questions to which I'm not going to have those answers to, but I'll find them for you. And going above and beyond is why we get a lot of referrals and people coming back. So certainly having a plan and then executing that plan, I think that would be really smart to do. And then whatever it is that they're looking for or questions they may have, we'll point them in the right direction. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, that sounds good. Very good deal. Yeah, it's important to have that plan and set it up, ahead of time. What so as far as getting that out, what is the best way that people can reach out to you and get access to you and get access to some of these resources that you've put together?
Good question. I'm on all social media platforms. You can find me on Facebook. My name is Hector Perez. You could look me up on Google. I'm in Google Maps, Google Business. We're also on Instagram. Anywhere that you could go, you just type in Hector Perez, EXP, you'll be able to pull me up. I'll share my cell phone number with everybody later if you want, email address. Any which way is most comfortable for you. You reach out and, we become, like I said, agile. We'll reach back out to you in a timely manner.
Good. And you've really positioned yourself as one of the thought leaders with all things housing for your area and what's going on with seniors. And I know you've worked with a lot of seniors and their families. What are some of the special challenges from the folks that you've worked with that are older or have older parents? What are some of the special challenges that people either go through when they're older and they're aging in their home, or if somebody's listening and they've got older parents, what's kind of on the horizon for them? What are some of the special challenges that those people have?
So, like anything else, there's going to be challenges anywhere you go around. Any goal that you have in mind, you're always going to face some sort of obstacle. I think the greatest thing to be paying attention to is probably just to have patience. Like anyone else, people kind of come to the same conclusions, especially if they're given the right amount of information. And that goes back to who you work with matters, working with the right professional. When presented the information, people digest it differently. And just being patient with that person, answering the questions, letting them know that you're there, and obviously that you're not pressuring them to whatever decision you think you want to make them for the benefit of yourself and your family. It's all about them. So pouring a lot of love into your clients, having a lot of patience with them, getting their questions answered. They'll come around and they'll realize that you're there to help and you're not going to go away just for a sale. So I think waiting them out, making sure that we address any concerns that they have. You always want to ask them what else we could do for you. Is there anything else that we could do to make your day better? Things like that go a really long way.
Sure. I know that you work direct with buyers and sellers, but being one of the thought leaders in your area on housing and senior housing too, yeah, I know that you work with a lot of group leaders and different community organizations, and there's different folks that need this information too. Maybe they're not selling their house individually, but they work with a large group of people who are selling their house, or a large group of seniors. Are there any particular professionals that can network with you, or it makes the most sense to reach out to you to get access to this curriculum also?
I'm not sure, and everyone's going to have a different answer for this. I think that anyone and everyone would be a fantastic candidate, someone great to partner up with. I told you earlier I had a great story for you. So this actually just happened today. We have a closing in Dumont. This is a property that was put on sale. It was listed right before coronavirus happened. And because of COVID-19, we had to take it off the market temporarily. We put it back on the market. It sold right away. Closing is today. And while I was over there removing the signs, there was people across the street that came up to me. They said, we saw what you had done, and we want to list our home also, and we're looking for senior housing. So what I did is I reached into the car. I gave them one of the books, a step-by-step guide for them. They were really, really impressed that I was prepared, and we're going to have that house listed in a couple of weeks. And then, of course, another thing too that I think would go a really, really long way is just showing appreciation for the people that you're working with. You were asking me who are the best type of partners. Today, in some areas of New Jersey, we have a listing in Kenilworth, and they still don't have power. I think it's like day 4, they don't have power yet, and it sucks, right? Like not having power. So I thought maybe sending them out a pizza would make the day brighter. I love pepperoni pizza. I think it's the greatest. So I called their local restaurant, and a guy named Lenny picks up the phone. He's the owner, and he says, "Oh, you're a realtor. What a great gesture. I actually have 4 properties I need tenants for, and my driver is considering listing his house. So this is perfect." So we have 2 new listings today and 4 new rentals coming up. Just because we're doing what we're doing, being there for everybody, giving back. I think that's important. So anyone could be the right partner. You never know who you're going to be able to help. You just help everybody.
It's awesome. Cool. Well, why don't you, we're going to kind of wrap up for today. Why don't you share all your contact information so that people who are watching this can reach out to you and get involved with, your help and your books and, help them, solve their real estate problems.
Awesome. Well, I'm very accessible. My cell phone number is 609-534-0297. Not sure if it's going to be down here somewhere. Email address is hectorrealtorperez@gmail. HECTOR realtor PEREZ@gmail. My Instagram is mythumbsuprealtorhector, and you can find me on Facebook. Same thing, Hector Perez at EXP. So just reach out. Anything that you have any questions on, you don't necessarily have to be ready to list. It could be anything regarding real estate. I'd be happy to help.
Awesome. Well, we're lucky to have people like you that are out there, educating and giving that professional service and taking it to another level. So your area is super lucky to have you, and we appreciate your info and some of the advice that you gave people today. So yeah, definitely reach out to Hector. I've known him. He's a good guy. and he wants to help people in his area, and that's who you want in your corner. So Hector, I just can't thank you enough for coming on today, and everybody, the contact info will be down below. So give him a call and reach out.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate the compliment. I think you're a beast. You're doing some amazing things, and I'm just really lucky to be learning from you. So thank you again for having me on there. Super, super grateful.
You got it. All right, we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Max. I'll see ya.